we talked about solving linear systems, so basically we're looking for the point of intersection between the two equations of the line, right? So what we have done so far is we were graphing and finding that point of intersection between the two lines. What we're going to learn today is we're going to learn how to do that by substitution, okay? So in this case, we are solving algebraic. What does the word substitution mean? What does the word substitution mean? So if I'm sick and they want to bring a substitution, what does that mean? Someone else that has my value, right? That's a teacher that's going to come in and be able to do my job, right? Same if you want to, let's say, if you want to substitute what? Let's say by telling x equals to 4, right? And you have an equation that has x in it. So you can substitute that 4 into the x. So they have the same value. I'm telling you that this is the value. So substitution means replacing that value by something else that's equal to. So first thing you want to do, so we have the two equations, right? So you have 3x plus 2y equals to 12, 4x minus y equals to 5. So the first step you want to do is you want to isolate a positive variable from either of the equations. So you're going to pick an equation that has a variable that has a positive 1 in front of it. Okay? So in this case, I don't have anything that has a positive 1, but I can make, is there any variable, any letter that has a 1 in front of it? The y in the second one, right? So that y right here, that's negative 1. It's not positive 1, it's a negative 1. So what I can do is, I can actually bring this one over to this side. What does that mean? Positive 4. So if I, so this is 1, this is 2. Okay. So I'm going to isolate, actually I should do it. So I'm isolating y from question number 2. So that's going to be 4x equals to 5 plus 1y. Now, is y by itself or not yet? It's not by itself, right? It has a 5 with it. Yeah. So what do I want to do with the 5? I want to get rid of it. I want to bring it over here, right? So that gives me 4x minus 5 equals to y. Now is y by itself? Yes. So what I did is I isolated for the letter y. Now why did I pick this y? Why did I not pick this, the first x or the first y?
Because x came first.
Because they have a number in front of them. Yeah. It becomes a little bit tougher to do it. Okay? It's doable, but it becomes hard. We would have fractions, and we kind of don't want that. Okay? Why did I not isolate that 4x? Why didn't I not leave this one here and then just, divide by 4? Again, there is a number in front of the x. I'm going to end up with fractions. Okay? So I'm going to look for the variable that has a 1 in front of it. Okay? So now I know that y is equal to 4x minus 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my substitution step in right now. Okay? So because I know that y equals 4x minus 5, I want to sub in this value, the 4x minus 5, in where y is in the first equation. So I'm replacing that y with its value. Okay? So let's see how that's going to happen. So we're going to say this is going to be equation number 3. So we're going to sub 3 into equation number 1. Okay? So this is what's going to happen. You see how there is a y here? That y is going to be replaced with the value of y, which is 4x minus 5. Okay? Because I know that y equals to 4x minus 5. So 3x plus 2, and then multiplied by 4x minus 5 equals to 12. Do you guys see what happened? So I removed that y value, that y, and I replaced it by its value. Are we okay with this? Now, how many variables do you see in this equation? How many letters? Which is x. You only see x, right? And this is what's supposed to be. Now I only have one letter. I can solve for it. Okay? So the next step is you're going to solve. So to solve, expand, and I need to simplify. Okay? So to solve this, I'm going to have to multiply that 2 in. So that's going to be 2 times 4x. So that's going to be 8x. And 2 times negative 5. So that's going to be negative 10 equals to 12. We're going back to chapter 1. Now, like terms, 3x plus 8x, they're like terms, so that makes 11x minus 10 equals to 12. How can I isolate for that x? What do I do? Bring the negative 10 over. It becomes a positive 10. So that's 11x equals to 22. And then what do I do after that? Divide by 1.
Oh, sorry, 11.
11. So when I divide by 11, then I'm left with x equals 2. So now I know what that value of x is. Now remember, I'm looking for, so when I have a graph, right, and I have 2 lines, I'm looking for a point of intersection. Remember that point of intersection? It has an x value and also has a y value, right? So far what I found is I found the x value, and I found that the x value equals to 2. Now my job is to find the y value. So to find the y value, you're going to substitute the value for the variable back either into the original equations and solve for the second variable. So I can take this value right now and sub it in. I can sub it into 3 because I know that 4x minus 5 equals to y. So if I sub in x equals to 2, I can solve for the value of y. So look at this. So sub x equals 2 into equation 3. Okay? Equation 3 says 4x minus 5 equals to y. So if I replace the value of x, which is 2, in here, that's going to be 4 times 2 minus 5, and that's going to equal to y. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 take away 5, that gives me 3. So then I know that the value of y is 3. So did I find my point? What's my point then? 2, 3. So my point is 2, 3. That's the point of intersection between these 2 lines. Okay? Now I can check my work. I can make sure that these answers are correct. And to check my work, I take these values, the x and the y values, plug them in into equation number 1, and make sure that left side equals right side, and plug them into equation number 2, and also make sure that left side equals to right side. Okay? So, technically my work right now is done, but I'm checking my work. Do you remember what was the first equation? I have it in front of me. Can you tell me what was the first equation? 4x minus 3y, something like that? No, what's the first equation? 3x plus y. Uh-huh. Okay. So what am I going to plug in for x? 2, right? Because x equals 2. What am I going to plug in for y? 3. So let's do that. 3 times 2 plus 2 times 3 equals to 12. 3 times 2 is plus 2 times 3 is? What's 6 plus 6? 12. So 12 equals to 12. That's a check mark, right? Right? Because left side equals to the right side. That means my work is right so far. Okay? I'm going to have to do the same thing for my second equation. My second equation was 4x minus y equals 5. No, I'm looking at my second equation, which is this. Right? Okay? I plug in 2 for x, so 4 times 2 minus, for y I'm going to plug in 3 equals to 5. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. So again, my left side is equal to my right side, which is good. So that I just proved to myself that my answer is correct. Okay? So at the end, I'm going to say that my point of intersection is what? POI is, what's the x value? 2. And what's the y value? 3. So my point is 2.